The best putters in the world get four things right when they make putts: a perfect setup, a perfect stroke, a perfect speed, and a perfect direction. Seymour's patented and proven rifle scope technology putting system helps golfers improve all four areas. Here's how. First, get in a comfortable posture. Square the face to the target line using the putter's alignment line. Then hide the red dot. Doing these three things will set you up in an optimal stance, square to the putter, square to the target line, and with your head, shoulders, hips, and hands in alignment. Now you're locked onto the target, like radar, free to putt with confidence the same way every time. Take your game to the next level by becoming a great putter with a Seymour.
Okay, Kurt, here's a recap of what we talked about. So a lot of information we talked about today, a lot of good stuff, I think, and that's good. I see that you're a real student of the game, and it's a pleasure to kind of get into it. However, I don't want to mess you up, like you said just a few seconds ago. And so, let's just take this with one side of the learning process, and then, you got the other side of the playing process, where here you're the engineer, and then when you're on the golf course, you're the artist. So, but we're going to facilitate a change here. Here's your first golf swing, and what I noticed when we were doing you're doing the KVS training is I saw, let's call it a fan. You just fan that club wide open and got the club too far deep behind you. I think it leads a lot to a flip. I think it leads a lot to be very handsy or wristy in your golf swing. And when you're playing a lot and hitting a lot of golf balls, everything kind of works well. When things get in the way, you're just you're kind of a little off, and things go really bad. So what we're kind of shooting for is we put it on the vest, is a 20-40 drill. So your your shoulders have turned 40 degrees. It's hard for me to kind of draw it, but your hips have only turned 20. All right. This is you in the vest while it's on, and giving you the audio and biofeedback. All right, I'm sorry, this is your first full swing. So there's the last one we did, and I'll just play it, run it through. So there's you listening for the music, listen for the biofeedback. There it is. Right, and that got you into the right spot. All right, or very close to the right spot. All right, so taking that one away. Oops, this is right. There's the difference. All right, so that's the backswing. I think with nothing else, this is going to make you very, very consistent. And you can just practice this by hitting half swings, going, let's say, call it at 9-3 with a 5-iron, and just hitting little punch shots out to like the 121-yard flag out there, right? And you don't want to see a lot of tail. You want to see just a little straight kind of gentle draw or gentle fade, and that's kind of showing you where the club face is on the right track. To get what we talked about with your weight, you see this line here off your butt, right? You see when you get to the impact how you're off the butt, okay? The pressure trace said it was a lot on your toes. All right, because as you swung, you went out on your toes, and to keep from falling over, your butt has to kind of move in, right? That's also a big reason why inside to out club path goes, which hits big hooks too. Okay. So what I had to do is, from the change, I had you hold on to a medicine ball, right? And we just had you take the medicine ball up and throw the medicine ball to me, right, while I was going through the motion, and then look at your trace as that happens. Right, definitely keeps you on a straighter line, which in turn, right, if the golf ball was here, right, it keeps the golf club going on that path rather than on that path. This trace gets the golf path going that way, right? Big hooks. This path, right, gentle hooks. All right, so you definitely see the difference as you're holding on to the medicine ball. The other drill that I gave you was that you had a sense of that you put this foot forward, pick that heel up, and then you made that swing, and that kept your butt back, right? That kept you going through. So a lot of info, but good work, and we'll see you soon.
Rory McIlroy is only 5'9", 161 pounds. But in the U.S. Open, he bombed his drives an average of over 310 yards. Our question is, how does a golfer Rory's size get so much length off the tee? The key to generating distance is what's called the kinetic chain, drawing energy from the ground up through the legs, through the torso, into the arms, and into the club. And in the middle of that kinetic chain is a critical link, the hips. And it's Rory's extraordinary hip action that caught the eye of Dr. Greg Rose. At the Titleist Performance Institute, Dr. Rose has worked with many of the world's best golfers, including Rory, using technology to analyze aspects of the golf swing that are difficult to see with the naked eye.
Rory's got that beautiful tempo, but as he comes through impact, all of a sudden something very different happens, which makes a lot of us sports science guys look at this and go, wow, what's going on there? If we look at hip speed, most amateurs are around 300 to 350 degrees per second. That's how fast they're rotating. Most tour players are around 550 degrees. Rory gets to this amazing 720 degrees per second on the downswing.
What's truly remarkable about Rory's hip acceleration is that it has another gear, reverse.
So if I'm looking at anatomy, you got to understand your abdominals, they run diagonally. Those are called your oblique abdominals. They start on your rib cage and they run down to your pelvis. So imagine it's like a rubber band attached to either side, and as that rubber band is contracting, it's going to grab both sides and pull them closer together. So in Rory's case, those abdominals fire so hard, it actually takes his lower body and it actually spins in the opposite direction. Right there, it's actually moving 377 degrees per second the opposite direction, which is just crazy.
In other words, for a split second, Rory's hips actually move backward faster than most golfers ever move their hips forward. This reverse rotation is extremely rare. Out of the hundreds of pros he's analyzed, Dr. Rose has only seen it a handful of times. And while it isn't the key to Rory's length, it's an amazing indicator of the intense torque Rory uses to generate ball speeds of over 175 miles per hour, among the fastest in the world. Of course, Rory McIlroy didn't win the U.S. Open just by being long off the tee. His ball striking helped him set the Open record, hitting an amazing 62 out of 72 greens in regulation. For ESPN Sports Science, I'm John Brinkus.
Well, the most important thing in a golf swing to me is the movement of the lower body from the top of the swing. And if you don't mind, I'll demonstrate. First off, you start down below with your knees and your hips. At the top of the swing, you move the lower part of your body, not your shoulders, the lower part of your body, letting your arms and hands follow, bringing you into position to hit. But this is the first movement, there. Then you release at the bottom. Most people do it entirely opposite. They rotate their shoulders first instead of their lower body. As a result, they come across the ball and hit the outside of the ball instead of the back of it. If you don't mind, I'll hit a ball, and the first thing to watch is what starts first from the top of the swing.